I'll be comparing two authors, Ingmar Bergman and Akira Kurosawa. For Ingmar Bergman, I chose the movie Persona. Persona is a movie about identity crisis which is faced by a prominent actor, Miss Volger, who suddenly stops speaking because she feels everything is an acting or everything is fake. Her caretaker, Alma, spends time talking to her, opening up about her own life. As the story goes on, both women start reflecting on who they are. Their bonds grow stronger but also confusing, where there are many ambiguous scenes on like Alma taking the role, Alma taking the place of Miss Volger and vice versa. It's like their personalities are starting to mix. Bergman's filmmaking is quite personal and close. He uses extreme close ups of faces to show emotion and thought. He often shoots through translucent curtains, which feel like masks, showing how people hide their real selves. The camera sometimes blurs and then snaps into focus, showing the shift between dream, thought, and reality. We only see one side of each woman's face, Miss Volga's right half and Alma's left half, to show that they are two halves of the same person. Miss Volga stays silent but watches Alma closely. Alma opens up about her desires, her mistakes, and even her guilt about an affair. Miss Volger calmly listens and later writes about Alma's story in a letter, treating it like another role. That betrayal makes Alma angry. Their relationship turns from care to conflict. The silence breaks into violence when Miss Volger bites into Alma's hand and Alma hits back. This fight shows the woman trying to preserve her own identity. Later, Alma calms Miss Volger down by saying that it is all nothing and to think of nothing. But before this happens, we explore into why Miss Volger actually stopped speaking and became silent. It is because she feels a sense of guilt that she cannot love her own child because she feels everything is acting and everything is fake. Alma understands this pain and tries to break the cycle by saying that she truly loves her son instead. And that moment uh, separates them and highlights their individuality. It reminds us that being human means feeling and accepting imperfections. By the end, Miss Volger is able to return back to her acting career and back to playing the various different roles, while Alma leaves changed by this interaction with this actress, and yeah, that's the end of the story. From this story, Bergman explores who we are and who we can stop pretending to be. His films usually often deal with faith, guilt, loneliness, and the search for truth inside ourselves. Now let us talk about the movie Rashomon by Akira Kurosawa, who is the next author that I'll be comparing. Rashomon is about truth and morality. A man is murdered in a forest, and the story is told in four different perspectives on what might have actually transpired. By one is by the bandit, the wife, the spirit of the dead husband, and the woodcutter. Each version changes the facts, and everyone tells the story in a way that protects their pride and dignity. Kurosawa's style is opposite to that of Bergman. The camera is constantly moving through trees, sunlight, and rain. He uses natural elements like rain and wind to mirror chaos and emotion. He shoots mostly mid shots and wide frames, showing people in relation to the world around them, whereas Bergman isolates people in silence. Kurosawa surrounds them with noise, nature, and moral confusion. Each retelling of the incident of Rashomon shows how people twist their truth for the comfort. The bandit makes himself look heroic, whereas the wife paints herself to be helpless. The husband calls himself noble, and the woodcutter hides that he saw everything because he stole a pearl knife in that when he witnessed this incident. In the end, we realize that no one is fully honest, and truth depends on who is telling the story. Kurosawa often uses this kind of moral dilemma in his films, testing what people do when their honor, fear, or survival is at stake. He edits this with motion, quick wipes and cuts to keep the story moving like a live argument. The rain at the Rashomon gate acts as a symbol of cleansing. After all the lies, a small act of kindness restores the faith in humanity. So basically, this scene is where after all the stories have been narrated, and there is a baby, there's a small baby that has been left behind at the steps of the broken temple of Rashomon, and each narrator, depending on the story they narrated, act accordingly. Like the one who supported the bandit steals the kimono that was kept to protect the baby left behind and runs away, proclaiming that the world is evil. The another man rushes to protect the baby, and the thief, the pearl knife thief, proclaims that becomes a voice of justice, mending his ways, and with this change of heart shows an act of kindness by adopting the baby. The ending is very simple and impactful, and shows that when truth fails, compassion can survive. And that's Kurosawa's core belief, that goodness matters more than the perfect truth. He shows that people can be flawed but are capable of redemption. Both Persona and Rashomon deal with the truth. Bergman looks at the inner truth and the lies we tell ourselves, whereas Kurosawa looks at the outer truth and the actions we take and the lies we tell others. Bergman's struggle is more of a spiritual with involving oneself, whereas Kurosawa's struggle is moral. Both remind us that being human means facing confusion and trying to stay honest in a world full of masks and lies, and trying to walk the right path whenever possible.